Jasmine Crockett may be living in a very different world in the very near future. Jasmine Crockett preparing to be kicked out of Congress. You see, there's some fireworks going on down there in the Lone Star State. This is the letter that Greg Abbott sent. He's kind of ticked off because, you know, they're supposed to vote on some of these redistricting issues. And instead of actually voting, what did these guys do? They actually decided to take off for a whole other state. They just decided to leave, and that they decided they would just be, you know, absent. Well, gee, that really works, right? You're not going to participate in the vote because it's take my ball and go home kind of thing. They don't like the fact that there is some redistricting efforts going on. She's calling it a power grab. She says you're trying to silence voters. It's really fascinating to me because I will say this. It's fascinating in that whenever it is the Republicans that are trying to make any changes to the rules, it becomes, shall we say, a power grab. It's racist. It's this, that, you know, everything you can imagine. Versus when it's the other way around. Think about it. When it's the other way around, and you actually have the libs out there trying to change things as they are. Keep in mind, as they are, ladies and gentlemen, in California right now, then this becomes kind of. Well, I'll let Hakeem say it. Hakeem Jeffries say it. Suddenly, when it's California getting redistricts, and there's a chance that maybe Republicans, or forgive me, Texas being redistricted, and there's a chance Republicans might succeed from it, it's somehow really, really bad. We do have this sound, but I want to play this for you before we go on to Jasmine. Here we are. Hakeem Jeffries.
We have to make clear to the people of Texas what's taking place, because it's unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And as elected officials, we have that responsibility. That's not something we can just brush aside. There are 50 states in America. I'm here in Texas for a reason, because these legislators are standing up. These members of Congress are standing up and communicating to the people of Texas what's occurring right now in the middle of the summer at a special session. And we will make clear that we're going to do everything possible to support the Texas legislators as they consider the best ways to push back. It's an all-hands-on-deck moment, and all options should be on the table to protect the people of Texas. But Texas Democrats are going to be the ones to decide that. We will fight them politically. We will fight them governmentally. We will fight them in court. We will fight them in terms of winning the hearts and minds of the people of Texas and beyond. The Texas Democrats are going to show up and stand up and speak up for what's right for the people of Texas. And they're showing courage and conviction and character.
Okay, except that they're not actually showing up. They're not actually showing up to help the people of Texas because they're not even showing up to vote. I mean, this is what is driving Governor Abbott so crazy. So there's this new map, basically, that, well, keeps Jasmine out. So she would not be able to run in her district again. And she's pretty upset about it, as clearly Hakeem Jeffries is as well. Now, again, you flip the tables and they'll lose it all day long. You know, and yet here we are in this day, at this moment, listening to Jasmine go on about her address. Take a listen.
But I know that this legislature did ask us as members of Congress to confirm our addresses. I don't know how many of us actually still reside in the districts that we represent. I do not currently reside in my district based upon the plan that has been drawn, which is another red flag, in addition to courts consistently looking at how many people have been moved.
How many people have been moved? Apparently, she's going to get moved. So Governor Abbott is, look, you know, this is politics, folks, okay? Welcome to the real world. And this could actually mean that she's going to lose her current district, which means she's probably going to lose her seat. It had to happen sooner or later, right? It had to happen. Anyway, she's calling this a power grab to silence voters. It's a sham. She says it targets minority voices. She's arguing that it undermines fair representation, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. But if you think about what she has an opportunity to do right now, it's to actually vote against this. But they're not doing this. Instead, they're actually leaving the state. They want to actually break quorum, as it's called, you know, and prevent the Texas House from advancing this redistricting bill. And it's like, you know, take my ball and go home kind of thing. Like, I'm just not gonna show up because I don't like what you guys are doing. And they've tried that before, actually, and it's really kind of a lousy thing to do, right? I'm sorry, you don't have the votes, and you know this is becoming an issue. And instead of actually staying and trying to work through this, your idea is that you're just going to leave, altogether leave. And that's in fact what they've done. So all the Democrats are leaving. And guess what? Abbott's like, listen, you guys are actually going to be out, period. Like, we're going to really, really be done with you. We're going to fine you too. You're going to be paid a lot of fine, and you're not going to be able to use any political money for those fines. So Jasmine, we hope you have deep pockets. That's where we are right now. He's made it very clear that they're not to do this, and so we'll see how this works out in the coming hours. Actually, we'll probably learn more information tonight. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this, because it's really pretty bad that they just would get up and leave and have that be the solution, as opposed to coming in trying to work with people and vote on stuff. That is not the way to do things. But you know what? I'm not Jasmine Crockett. And Jasmine has her own, shall we say, way of doing things. Look, they're afraid of Trump in every way, shape, or form right now. And they figure if they can just stack the deck, and that's what they're talking about doing in California. They want to get 5 more seats. If they can stack the deck, they can then have a shot at impeaching him and stopping him from all the success that we started the show with, right? That Harry Enten was talking about, that he's got all of these legislative orders. He's got all of these executive orders that are going through. And by the way, the Supreme Court is actually confirming so many of them. So even though you have federal judges trying to like muck it up, you've got the Supreme Court saying, no, you know, he has this authority. And so this terrifies Democrats, really terrifies them, as this one MSNBC contributor basically let on. They are freaked out by the amount of power Donald Trump now has. Because you see, when the people are with you and you hold the Oval Office and you got Congress and you got Senate, you got a lot of power for sure. Oh, and you get the Supreme Court. You get more conservatives than you have liberals on the Supreme Court. You got it all, baby, right? Listen to her.
They see all this power that President Trump has amassed, and they're very shaken by it. And they're not also really understanding how not only did they lose it, yes, it was a close election, but they lost every battleground state. And that's something that I think Democrats are still trying to wrap their heads around.
Trying. You lost it all, guys. You lost it all. And now, this time around, oh gosh darn it, you can't say what you said before. You know what they said before. I know what they said before. They went right back to the well, right? Why did they lose it before? Oh, it was Russian interference. That's why. Well, you know, you can only try that so many times. And by the way, cat's out of the bag. You guys might be going down, like in history, and like really going down. Like, we might actually be going down to Georgia, so to speak, right? Like, you're going to the slammer for some of this stuff. I think I'm going to get to what Donald Trump's saying on this in just a moment. But remember, they don't have this narrative anymore.
Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put into office because the Russians interfered.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
You said you believe that Russia's interference altered the outcome of the election.
I do. We have a precedent.
Okay, so you know the drill. They did this over and over and over again. And so they don't have that to fall back on this time. So yeah, they're kind of freaked out that he's got a lot of power, but they gave it to him. And gosh darn it, they're going to still give it to him. Oh, I got a great soundbite. I got to play you a little bit later on of J.D. Vance talking about Sydney Sweeney. And he's like, listen, if you're going to jump all over Americans because they think she's kind of hot and she looks good in a pair of jeans, and you're going to accuse them of being racist or God knows what else, even worse, because of that, you keep doing that, guys. We're going to keep winning elections, all right? We're going to win them all day long, and that's what's happening. Meanwhile, They are in trouble. They are in trouble. Hillary Clinton is in real trouble. I mean, serious trouble. I'm going to get to that in a second. But first, a little shout out for one of our sponsors here on the show, Balance in Nature. We love our friends at Balance in Nature. You know, they've been great. And I just have to say, it is wonderful to have such terrific sponsors like Balance in Nature. I'm just going to say that because I come on here every day and this show is totally for free. And I love that it can be for free. I mean, it's a special bond that we've been able to build together. And look, we're building a channel. I'm able to build a business. And so just a very special shout out to these guys because they have helped to make all this possible. Really and truly. And they've got great stuff. Great stuff. So I'm a big believer in taking your vitamins and drinking enough water and exercising, all of these things, eating right. But I get it. It's not easy, especially right now. Like I'm traveling. It's not always easy to eat as well as I'd like. It's easier in Europe, although I will give, I'll give RFK Jr. a lot of credit. Hopefully it's going to get easier to eat well in the USA as well. But I would say that this is a big part, for me anyway, of healthy living. Balance in Nature. They have a lot of things on their website. Go check it out. You get 35% off with code word Trish, Trish, and you can call them directly, 1-800-2468-751. It's 1-800-2468-751. Use that code word Trish. It helps me. It helps the show. You're helping yourself. You get the 35% off, plus you get the free shipping, plus you get money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, no harm, no foul.